Hi, I'm Joe Connolly, and we're going to take you to a business in one of the most famous neighborhoods in the world. In the heart of it, Broadway's theater district just off Times Square in New York. Shane Hathaway is the owner of Hold Fast Kitchen and Spirits, which serves Broadway actors and crews and tourists. And the other day, when producer Neil A. Carousso spoke with Shane, about 1 hour after Governor Cuomo said that bars and restaurants would be able to reopen inside at potential full capacity, Shane was already installing plexiglass shields in order to increase the capacity. Shane, where did you get the name Hold Fast? I'd like to ask you first. Where's that come from?
We get that question a lot, and it has different origins, but the name Holdfast itself, in the nature of it, comes from a military term and also from a maritime term, sailing. But for military, it basically means to stand your ground, hold your position, stand firm. And in maritime, they had the tattoos that said "Hold Fast" on their fingers, because what they would do is they would hold fast to the riggings, and they would jump from line to line and be able to keep the ship or the boat going in the direction and keep the sails so they could go north, go south. And we just put that inside ourselves for hold fast to mean stand firm, stand true to you, and take your direction that you choose in your life is yours, and do that with decency and respect. And my business partner, he latched on to the poem by Langston Hughes, which is "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken wing that cannot fly," and it goes on. And we have that written in the bar, and it's basically just to mean to be true to yourself and stand by what you believe, and that's what we hope that everyone can do. And it just seems it's kind of perfect in this time to push through a really hard period, and to hold fast during all of this incredibly tough time for so many. So
What a great story. When the city reopens at fuller capacity, will you turn profitable or have you been profitable?
we have not been profitable. The hope is that we will continue in the uptrend. It's really tough because last year we were trending to a pretty decent year, and then obviously the rug got taken out for so many. We're just fortunate to still be open. So the hope is, yes, that we will eventually return to a profitability and be able to kind of put this to bed. But with the funding and with the loans and the grants that are out there, we're able to sustain and actually have hired multiple staff members during this really tough time.
So there's been some business most of the time, mainly outside.
Well, yeah, pretty much it's been majority outside. I mean, obviously, when we first started back in May, when we reopened, we were strictly to go. Everything was takeaway, and that was never going to be able to sustain. And then in June 22nd, we were allowed to have outdoor dining. We're fortunate because we are on Restaurant Row, which has become a part of the Open Street program, but is also a closed street to traffic. So it's a pedestrian walkway, which has been wonderful because it draws a lot of people to the area. And so we were able to expand our building. You're supposed to be outside of your building, and we were able to extend to the next building by the wonderful graciousness of Judy, the landlord, who has allowed us to use the frontage of her space to expand ours, effectively doubling our space. It's not massive, but it's really decent, and she's saved our business in a lot of ways, and that's why she's got a cocktail on the menu named Judy is a Beauty, and it's strategically placed right under Hold Fast to Your Dreams, which is our namesake, because she's helping hold us up at this time.
I want to come in, Neil.
Same here. Shane, how have things changed? And how are things going to be different for you this go around, this summer, as outdoor dining comes back?
Right. I mean, obviously, when we first opened in 2007, we never expected to have an outdoor space, and here we are having to adjust. We designed the bar with the flow of the service bar to be towards the back to handle, the interior, and now we basically had to flip it around. Last year, once we were able to have outdoor dining, we had to flip it around so all the service comes out of the front, and that was an adjustment because you're not used to that, and obviously that didn't take place till till June and July when it started to get busier again. I mean, not necessarily busier. You remember there wasn't that many people in town. A lot of people had left and were scared, and rightfully so. So, it was an adjustment, and we are so grateful to our incredible community and customers and loyal friends and family that have really helped support us. So we've just had to kind of pivot our business model. And now with reopening indoors and then now opening the bar top, we've had to adjust yet again. And so we still maintain the service coming out the front, but where does all the glassware go that we were able to just put on the empty bar? Now we have seats in those bars, so we have to adjust that, and we've had to adjust where our service area is, and so we're so lucky that our staff has been able to adjust with us and kind of keep the flow going, that the customer doesn't have to experience that delay or those hesitations. But with anything, it's one foot in front of the other, and we're kind of making adjustments daily as to what we have to do in order to keep everything going, cohesive.
Right. So are you rehiring workers? Are you hiring again?
So we have hired through this whole process about 12 to 14 people, which is pretty incredible amongst everything. That doesn't mean that the business is flying. It just means that there was a necessary need for staff, and to be able to provide a job for individuals and create a family base has been pretty special for us. And we are absolutely looking for more people. So if anyone hearing this broadcast, if you're looking for a job, please come on down to Holdfest. We're looking for bartenders, we're looking for servers, we're looking for front of the house people, for support staff, we're looking for kitchen staff, because now with the expanding hours, you can only push people so much, and we're burning out, and everyone's only human, and you can only be there so long before it starts to have an impact on your mentality and your social life, and that's not healthy for anybody. So we're trying to sustain a comfortable, welcoming environment, and everybody's been so amazing at doing that, to be able to hold fast through this, and keep the mindset positive. But after a certain point, everyone has a breaking point in it, and we don't want that to happen to anyone. So yes, we are looking for staff. We do need staff, and please just feel free to reach out to us.
We're talking with Shane Hathaway, owner of Hold Fast in the Theater District of New York City. A lot of Broadway actors and cast have left. Will some come back? Tell us what's happened to Broadway, Shane.
Obviously, Broadway and the theater community as a whole is very much tied into our business and our heart. We have very close relationships with many of them. My business partner's wife works in the theater community, for Disney Theatrical. So we have very hard connections with the Broadway community and the diverse people that are involved in that community. And so not having Broadway around or the theater community as a whole, has really impacted business. I mean, not only just with them coming in, because many of them have made Holdfast their home, but also the people that go to see the shows and the people that come into town. And so we have seen a huge impact, but we've also seen an incredible amount of support from them in general, just because they really want to rally around a place that they call home, and within the confines of what they can do. It's been really tough for that.
If you could just estimate, and this is a guesstimate, from what you know with your ear to the ground, what % of actors and crew members left New York for a while, and how many do you think are heading back?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, obviously, that number can range anywhere from 50 to 75, because based upon what we've seen, you're not really there's no one really around, and I haven't really kept track as to their whereabouts, but I know a lot of people had left. I mean, specifically shows that had come in, that become really close with us. So that number, I would have to guess somewhere between 50 and 75% had left, or had just stayed in Brooklyn, for instance, or didn't have a reason to come into Midtown, using that example, or in Jersey, wherever they reside. People didn't want to travel, so why would you come if you're not coming to work? Just to come to a bar to help out. That's nice, and we've had many people that have done that religiously. As far as people coming back, for as far as I know, a lot of them have had to pivot their kind of job, going into real estate, going into that, pursuing a career, finishing their degrees. as from what I hear and from what I see, and it's hard to estimate because we don't know when it's actually all coming back. You hear different rumors. You hear September, some people say January. A lot of this has to coincide with the vaccinations, and how do you get people into into a theater safely? So, from what I've seen and everyone I've talked to, they're all coming back. They're pushing back because this is their heart, this is their soul, this is their dream. And that's so special and so commendable that people still want to push forward to follow their dream and do this. So I don't know if I can give you a real number as to how many people. Everyone I've spoke to is coming back. Maybe one or two here or there, but everyone that I've spoken to said we're going to be back, and we're going to be back stronger. So that number could be 75 to 100% of those individuals want to come back in some fashion and be a part of something that could be really special. I mean, this is, as hard as this is, the resilience that you see in so many businesses and the Broadway community and the theater community as a whole to push through this. It's going to be a special story to talk about when you come out of the other end of the tunnel.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
as educated an estimate as we're going to hear from anybody. Neil?
Yeah, for sure. And, Joe and I hearing from people how difficult it is to plan. What I have seen is, commuting traffic has picked up. Our traffic reporter, Tom Kaminsky, in the morning and said, it's almost at pre-pandemic levels. So I wonder if you've seen increased foot traffic at Holdfast as a result.
It's tough because through this we've seen a pretty steady flow of individuals. I don't know if it's just our neighborhood. You see other people, you see other places out there on social media, and you see that they're fairly busy. But again, you're in a smaller environment, so it's hard to really base that. But I've seen an increase of foot traffic. I've seen an increase of road traffic. 9th Avenue is now the old parking lot that it used to be, which is a telltale sign of people coming back. But yeah, the foot traffic in our area has steadily increased. Now that the weather's getting nicer as well, it's going to be interesting to see the difference between last summer and this summer. Last summer was fun and in certain ways, even though there was curfews and there was this and that and everything you had to deal with, but there were still people who were pushing through and we're out there. Now this year, with the vaccinations on the rise and and the cases dropping, there's more people that are willing to come out, and so you're seeing more and more and more of individuals walking around and being more comfortable than last year, that when we didn't have that as much.
I hate to ask, is Times Square sliding back a little bit, a lot? Is this going to come back under control? What do you think?
From my perspective and everything that I've heard and talking to people, Times Square is rising up. It's growing. It's increasing with that hustle and the bustle. It seems like there's a vibrancy that obviously was not there last year. There would be bits and pieces of it, but nothing. Comparatively to 2 years ago, it's obviously not the same. There's some businesses that are still shuttered. There's some things that are closed, obviously, without the theaters opening up and you having all the people, dumping into Times Square. But from everything I've been told, it's on the rise, and that's a good sign, because we want Times Square to grow. Because if Times Square grows back to what it was, then that overflows into the rest of the businesses and the community it's so needed.
Rising up, Joe. That's a theme that we'll be hitting on the spring. One last from me, Shane, and it has to deal with tourism. You alluded to it. The city is investing $30 million in a massive tourism campaign and to get New York City back again. How may you reap the benefits of that?
Oh, we love tourists. We've had people come in. Just in the past few weeks, you've seen people from Tennessee, people from Minnesota. We had some from California, and those people, within the 4 days that they were there, they showed up to our place 3 out of 4 days, which is a wonderful sign. To be able to talk to outside individuals and from a perspective that we have an experience and have those conversations and then greet them and then converse with them in your own establishment and give a chance to keep the business flowing. It's so important. The tourism business is huge for us, and it's just always nice to connect with individuals who have experienced something different in this hardship, and they come to New York. Maybe their state is open and they're free and they're this and that, and they still respect the process of what we're trying to do. and they appreciate how hard we work through this. So that's the tourism business is huge, and we welcome you and don't want that coming back as fast as humanly possible.
Your website describes Holdfast as a hip outpost. What does that mean? So I know how to act when I come in.
I don't know, hip outpost. I don't even really know where that came from. I think that I think what we are is we're the environment that most anyone could walk into and feel comfortable. We've added a few elements to incorporate something of the times, but we still have that environment that literally, again, going back to the tourist, where you feel like you've been here before. You feel like it's something you relate to in your hometown, and it could be someone in Australia, it could be someone in South America, it could be whatever. But Holdfast just has those elements that are just very, very welcoming, and cozy is a big word we get. Comfy, and it's nice. I mean, I don't really know how certain words have been applied to it. I think majority of the time, anyone that walks in there, they do feel at home, and that's really, that's a testament to the staff. That's a testament to the hard work that both me and my partner have put in, and it's we're very proud, and individuals. We don't ask for any kind of accommodation. Like, we've worked just as hard as anybody else, and we're doing what we have to do, and we just hope that that resonates with individuals. We can keep this ship moving forward, and we can get to a better place for all.
It sounds like it's a phrase that came out of Time Out New York, maybe, and got wisely picked up. My last question: in your place, are customers around famous actors and actresses out of costume and out of makeup, and they may not even realize it, or do they recognize the Broadway people? Or tell us about the mix.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously it's changed a little now, because indoors you have the barriers, and people are more secluded, and but yes, when we were flowing, and we had the community coming in, and actors and actresses and of that nature, and when they would walk in, people would recognize them, like, oh my God, that's so and so. And majority of our people are very welcoming. A lot of times people, they just performed, and the last thing I want to do is interact with individuals. They're very welcoming and this and that, but they like to come to Holdfast to just kind of escape and, do their thing with their friends. But when they have been approached, or if it's always been with respect, and, the people that we cater to, they're not coming in to, to get autographs and do this. They just want to say hi to an individual that they saw. And that's big. We try and create an environment that is about respect and appreciation for an individual, rather than just this party atmosphere that people are, itching to. Don't get me wrong. We can bring the music up, and we can have a good time, but we also understand that there's a place of decency, and that needs to happen, and people need to feel welcome and know that they can feel comfortable to walk into a space that is safe. And that's been the big word through all of this: a safe environment that any individual can walk into and feel welcome. And there is one thing I just wanted to, I don't know if you want to put this out there, but we've been working on something for about a few months called Hold Fast to the Arts, which is a sponsorship program for individuals in the art community, since you had mentioned. And it's a really special program, and it's something that I didn't realize how incredible it was going to grow. And basically what it does is an individual like yourselves, or an individual across the country or around the world or local, could go on our website, and they can sponsor a meal, or a dining experience, as we like to say, for someone at Holdfast. And that's a person that's involved in the arts. And that's not just the person that's sitting on stage. That's the guy collecting, the girl or the guy collecting the tickets. That's the usher. That's the security guard. That's everyone that's been impacted by this in the theater community. And then they can come to Holdfast, and they can redeem that sponsorship and have a meal, and to watch individuals interact with each other, some for the first time, and be out, and then be able to connect with these individuals who have sponsored them. It's like a pen pal almost. It's this human to human thing that takes place safely through through a computer, and they reach out and they thank them with their video, or with some of it connected via Zoom and done like a class with another teacher. And it's been beautiful to really watch. So it's
That's
something
nice.
special.
Is there a website for that?
It's on our website. If you go there, you scroll down, you'll see Hold Fast to the Arts, and it kind of explains exactly what it is. It's very simple, and it's been something that's really, truly shown a lot of humanity. And we did not know how beautiful it would be. We had an idea, but to see individuals and actually hear them interact and have seen the transcripts of emails that have taken place, as it really gives us, hope. And then to put a smile on someone's faces, you can't put a dollar value on that.
Shane, Hold Fast sounds like a great place. And I hope people from around New York, but from around the country, see you as one of the best spokespeople for the New York bar and restaurant industry who I've ever seen. Great to know you, and good luck. Hold fast, man.
I appreciate you, sir. Please make sure you guys got to stop in. We got to shake hands.
Will do.
All right.
Cheers, bud.
Thank you, Neil. I appreciate the time, guys.